Hello, it's Paul here from xBrat Software Solutions. I'm excited to share the full replay of our most impactful webinar yet. In this session, we unveiled our breakthrough integration of Slingshot on TradingView, plus exclusive details about the fantastic 4 automated strategy builders and our brand new Concierge Service. This is a game changer you won't want to miss.
Okay, we'll get going. So 2 years ago, or 18 months ago, we brought Slingshot out for the indicator for NinjaTrader. And at that time, I think all of my guys that work for me, coding-wise, just said it couldn't be done for TradingView. Some of the contractors I used had a go and failed, but I found a genius, okay? I found a genius, and now we have it for TradingView. Okay, so there's still some testing, and this is why today I'm going to go through a few things, and I'm just going to show you that it's identical. So we have the type 1 buy here on TradingView on CL. Got an MCL chart here on the 5-minute on NinjaTrader. Type 1 buy, there it is. At 0500 hours. So remember, on NinjaTrader, the time of the candle is when the candle closes. On TradingView, it's when the candle opens. Just a little nuance you should know. So the type 1 buy is at 0455, 5 minutes before the other one, because it's the same candle. It's just the way that does it. And again, we got the type 1 buy. We get a good entry, target 1, target 2, target 3, and the trading stock gets taken out here. Okay, so believe you me, this has been extremely difficult to manage because TradingView has a lot of restrictions on what is allowed and what's not as far as coding is concerned. For example, on TradingView, you're only allowed to draw so many lines on a chart because it's a cloud-based system, cloud-based servers. So they restrict you when you're putting these things together. Remember, this is extremely complex logic, and it was only ever going to be on Slingshot. But I've invested a lot of money and time into getting to TradingView because we have lots and lots of TradingView users. Now, some of you might say, and again, if some of you are not used to the Slingshot, some of you might see this pullback and say, well, why isn't there a pullback zone? Because it's too deep, too long for this 5-minute time frame. Now, we go to something like a 12-minute time frame. That's that same pullback. Just let it do its calculation. And that's that same pullback. We get the support in that first of those 3 zones. So there's an 85% probability it's going to hit target 2. Guess what it did? It hit target 2. It's now printing the trading stop position just here as well. Okay. So you have a multiple time frame approach to this type of strategy, especially during your day when something's trending like this. And this is just a basic time frame. What I want to do now is go on to something I really like on TradingView. So on NinjaTrader, we use Unirenko a lot with the Slingshot because it responds and works extremely well. And you're going to see that in action with the ASBs soon. But I want to go on Euro US dollar now, just to show you this this Renko sort of time frame that TradingView has. It's got an ATR, average true range Renko, which is spot on. So even this is a 15-second time frame, but you look at this type 2 buy here at 10, 28, and 15 seconds. The next one doesn't close. There we go. All the way down. So it takes a little time, and you can change around. And one of the reasons why I want to put a beta group together for this is there's some tests I need to do for alerts, but also I want to work with you guys because this is a different set of rules. It's a different chart type, and I want to build a good library, if you like, of good chart types to work on different types of time frames. We know what they are on NinjaTrader, but this is different. We can't get Unirenko for for TradingView. So we've got to look, type 2, type 1 sells, hits target 2. Target 2 club, get it every time, okay? Type 3 buy is the trend failure. They're all the same. Type 2 buy here on today on this type of time frame. But we can change those around. I mean, we can even go to, this is Apple on the daily time frame, okay? We get the type 2 buy here before earnings, okay? Look what it did all the way up to this point here, takes a trailing stop out, okay? We got a type 2 sell before earnings, okay? This is a 195 chart. One of the things I just got delivered, and this is why when I give you a link in a minute, this is to register your interest. There's only going to be 20 beta testers, and you are going to get this for life. Like Slingshot for NinjaTrader, when we do release it properly to the public, it will be on a lease, okay? Because it's a lot of technology, it's a lot of upkeep for this, okay? So this is NQ, and I just wanted to show you, I literally half an hour, I got the alert module before the webinar for this. We see this type 3 buy at 10:44 and 30 seconds. This is this 3 buy signal here. We're also building in signals for the stop loss as well. So again, part of that beta test group would be to test these. Obviously, I've just put this on a 30-second for NQ so I can get a load of signals to print in reality. So we can start to test those signals. And for some reason, I closed the Bitcoin chart down, which is very strange. But I'll duplicate that tab. I'll go to here, crypto, Bitcoin. And I'm going to go for maybe an hour. Let it do its thing. There we go. Okay. So we can see, I mean, to be honest, Bitcoin's not the sort of thing, or even Bitcoin futures, the sort of thing you trade off a sort of day trading time frame. It would be 60 minutes, hour, that sort of thing. But you can see here, very strong. Type 3 buy signal at this point here in July. This is a trend failure signal. And then it goes long. We get a type 1 sell at this point. Trading stop gets printed, takes us out. Type 3 sell. So this is a trend failure. And look at this come down. We can add at the type 2. We can add at the type 2 again, all the way down to this point. Then we've had a recent bounce. We've pulled back. Now we've got this type 1 buy signal recently. And again, cryptocurrency, like anything, as long as it's got price action, and we can measure that price action, measure those pullbacks, we can find the groove, the right time frame to trade this particular instrument. We go back to CL here. We can see on the 12-minute time frame. Remember, we had this on the 5-minute. It took out the trailing stop. And imagine if we've got a chart set of 4, and I haven't done that. I haven't prepared that because literally just had this delivered this morning. If we've got that chart set, we've got a 5, a 12, and a 3, and we've got them all 4 there, and we've got the alert set up, we've got some good trading opportunities there. And the alerts come in this sort of window down here as well. And makes a noise on the platform. It sends an alert to your TradingView app. There's lots and lots of ways of receiving those alerts. So again, today, when we look at this type of trade, on the 5 minutes, let's just go back to the 5 minutes, measure how many ticks oil has traded today on this. Now, there's no support resistance zones now. I'm just showing you how accurate it is. So I'm just going to measure that. Nice little measuring tool here. Type 1 buy, just go above. Takes it out of the trailing stop. That is 108 ticks on the 5 minute. Okay. It's not over. If you take a multiple time frame approach on that, we see this pullback goes quite long. It takes us out that long trade. It's coming back quite a while. So we've got to understand that on a higher time frame, there's less candles. There's more likely a good pullback coming on. So we go to 12-minute on this point. So we get another signal at this point here, and we're going to go long. This trade is still in, okay? This trade up to target 2 was 83 ticks. It's currently sitting around about 99 ticks, okay? That's a 200 tick day for oil, okay? That's a $2,000 day for oil, just on the 5-minute, okay? Really, really strong, very, very simple. So what I'm going to do in the chat box, I am going to put the link for a PDF. Okay, the PDF looks something like this. So in there, the first one is the Slingshot for beta testers for TradingView. So instead of paying $745 for 6 months, you'll get it for $1,200 for life, because I'm rewarding you for helping me complete it, putting the finished product together. And it will be just like the NinjaTrader Slingshot. It will go to lease, because there is a lot of upkeep for this, because there's a lot of logic. Also in that PDF, when we go through it, I'm talking about the NinjaTrader automated strategy builders, and the Concierge Service for automated strategy as well. So let me know if that link works, please, guys, because it did work for me, but I don't know if it's being popped up by any blockers. Okay, perfect. So this is the TradingView. Very happy with this. I can't tell you how frustrating this has been for me over the last 18 months. I've tried guys from all over the world to get this to work. Okay, even where I live in the UAE, and I'm in Spain at the moment, but I'm with family for the summer. I've some very clever guys there in Abu Dhabi, and they couldn't make it work. They couldn't do it. Okay. But I've found a superstar in the US. Okay, the US actually breeds some really clever people, and he's managed to do it. Not only that, he's managed to do it exactly like NinjaTrader. Okay, so it's very, very good. The only thing you will see here, for example, where you see this little join here, that's something we can't take away from TradingView. It's just something that, you know, when we get that pullback into there, it's just something we can't take away. But in reality, this is all the same. And the exciting thing for me with TradingView is we've got these ATR encos, and I really want to go to town on this and understand where they are. So even if I go to something like futures here and go to gold futures, for example, you know, what I want to do is work with those beta testers and try and find the right, okay, that's a pretty good time frame right there. This type 2 buy hits target 2, very, very good. So again, it's about trying to find the groove, understanding where they are, because when we look at these Renko types of settings on here, we've got traditional ATR and percentage LTP. So there's a lot of settings, and it's very difficult for some people to actually find the groove. And a lot of the time, it's easy to work with a set number of people, and there's only going to be 20. So we can actually find the groove for gold futures, for oil futures, for copper futures, for euro US dollar, for Bitcoin, you know, that sort of thing. So we can get those scalping type timeframes all down, because I know most of you like scalping. This is pretty good, actually. This type 3 buy, this trend failure goes hell for leather, pulls back into these zones. You see how it hops off these zones. These zones are printed in advance, remember. They're worked out. Once this zone is printed, once it pulls back, it's locked, okay? It does not move. And then you can see it pushes down. So really, really great. So any questions before I go on to the next main event, which are the new updates for the automated strategy builders? So any questions on the TradingView Slingshot or the beta testing? Oh yes, it costs a lot of money. It is absolutely very unique, George. That's the next thing. Okay, so this took 6 months. and Guardian Zones is even more complex than this. So bear with me. I want to get this done first, and I want to make sure that obviously we'll do revisions. We won't do ASB for this. At this moment in time, the technology is not available on Slingshot to have automated strategy builders with this sort of logic. I wish it could, but it can't. It's one of those things. Yes, and Trevor's right. This type of time frame, this Renko ATR, is specific to TradingView. It's very, very cool. Yes. So part of that group will be to look at stocks and swing trading, or even other types of instruments with swing trading as well. I mean, you got to think I started trading in 1996. I soon gave up day trading, and I was just swing trading for over a decade. Swing trading's my bread and butter. Okay, so we will have support. You'll be joining teams. And then you'll be able to put things into teams, and we will be holding your hand in teams as well, because you will get access to xBrat teams, and that's where the support is for a lot of our expert users, for me and lots of other people. XAU USD on the 1 minute. Okay, let's do that. Then I will move on. Oops. On the 1 minute. So let me just take it off Renko. It's a bit scrappy, probably needs cleaning up, different type of time frame. Some good trades there. Type 1 sales, type 2 sell here, trading stop taken out, type 2 buy, all the way to target 3 actually. Yeah, there's some great trades here. I think probably cleaned up a little bit with the Heiken-Ashi, maybe. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, I think it needs some work, but it is very, very good. I think what you'd probably better doing is probably going Renko 30 seconds. Renko ATR 30 seconds. Yeah, some good trades there as well. Even today, we had a type 2 buy at 537. This is EST, and it went a long way. Not saying that's the right settings, but yeah, that's good. Does that help? No, John, there will not be a lifetime license once we release it. This offer for the lifetime license is only for the beta testers. But after that, it will only be available for lease. Kevin, this will work on FX pairs on any time frame. You've just got to find the right time frame that works. So if you want to go intraday, that's fine. We want to go, let's go to something different. GBP US dollar. We're going to take it to normal candles, and we're going to go, I like a 12-minute more than a 15, but I don't usually trade Forex very often. Again, this is part of that beta test group to try and find a good day trading, a good intraday chart type, and a good scalping chart type as well. Euro US dollar. Okay, I'll put Euro US dollar on there. Heat map is what you need, really. Obviously, you're going to have to put your own support and resistance zones in for now. No, it will not. It's a totally separate platform. It won't be available for Slingshot users of NinjaTrader. Wow, there's some big moves here. Let's go 15-minute. Yeah, I think a little bit of work needs to be done on which time frame. So again, if you go to these Renkos and you go 3-minute, believe it or not, this is like a 15-minute candle, but it just smooths out price action a little bit, especially for pullbacks. We can see here. You'd have to play with the ATR a little bit. I just want to show you probably a 21, maybe 21. Okay, so let's have a look at this type 3 buy here. So the type 3 buy comes in when it breaks this red zone, so it's a trend failure. That comes in at 1854. The next candle is 1915. You see, that's 15, 20 minutes ish. I mean, it depends on volume and things like that. But you can see this is why this is so very adaptable to smooth price action out and get those moves. So this is a big move from around about 08328 until the trading stops taking out at 8804. That's a good move, and that move was in 939. I was in all night. If you want intraday, lots of options. Frankly, at this moment in time, you cannot, because it is just for beta testers for lifetime license. Okay. Oh, we've got a signal on NQ. We've got a type 2 sell. There we go. Again, part of this beta testing is to test these signals. Okay, so we're there now. Okay, guys, we're there, and I need to move on to the ASBs. Okay. So I've had a small account for about a year. Basically, I use it as my test rig, okay, for the ASBs to have the live data and to run. And on June the 11th this year, I started sharing this Slingshot ASB templates with our users for the Slingshot ASB in the teams. Okay. I wanted it to be an exercise in reality for automated futures trading. And to be honest, it is a reality check for traders, really, because you need money to make money. Okay, so it was a small account. I'm going to go through that now. So guess when I started the ASBs? Okay, this point here, 6th of the 11th. You see this? This is just $12 a month, taking that data out for me, just so I can use this as a test bed. Really, this account really was my test bed. I always had in mind to start with a small account size. So when we went, when we really got these ASBs running and getting all that logic in there, just so I could share those templates and show that reality with that. So that started around just over $12,000, $12,000 in change. The account size has actually grown 33% in less than 2 months. Okay, so this is where it started and this is where it is now. So this is the last month from where it's gone. And what I want to show you is that there is no straight line in trading profit. There's always going to be drawdowns, but the way that we optimize these automated strategies is that we reduce drawdown. We also reduce the amount of trades, because again, who has grown their account size, be honest, by 33% in the last 6 weeks? Anybody, please tell me now. Okay, whether you've been live trading, have you had minimum drawdowns? And this is what it's about. It's about increasing value in the size of your account, okay, by keeping those drawdowns small and being consistent with that. And this is 6 weeks. This is not a one-hit wonder, okay? This is this month. So yes, we get some nice wins. Then we get a little bit of a drawdown. Then we get some wins and it brings us back to where we were before, filling the hole. That's one strategy that you should always look for. Then we have some more drawdowns. Then we fill the hole and make the pile bigger. Then some more drawdowns around about the end of July, okay? Little bit of a winner to bring us back. And then the last 2 days, boom, okay? And it's like waiting for a bus. You can wait there for ages and nothing turns up and you'll turn up at once, okay? And that's what trading can be like as well, because you've got to find the perfect opportunities with all the stars aligned, with little risk to take those trades. And that's not trading every day. So in the last 2 days, I've had about 4 or 5 trades on the Slingshot ASB, which has seen this big curve. Today, there's been no trades because the conditions aren't right for that strategy, okay? You will also see some flat periods where there's no trading. And, you know, that could start today and continue for the rest of the week. I know, because I've been doing this over 20 years, these are good periods. And these are periods that show that your strategy is working, okay? Because you shouldn't be trading 4, 5, 6 times a day. That is not how you trade. You trade by making sure that you have all the ducks in a row, all the stars aligned, however you want to call it, and you're reducing the risk. And then your drawdowns are also then reduced. And if you have a strong strategy, that growth continues. So that was the small account with the Slingshot. So that some of those new updates now have gone for to the rest, and we call them the Fantastic Four: the Range Breakout, the Roller Coaster, and the Zone Trader Pro. So these are strategies for different behaviors, different market conditions, and you've got to understand that a strategy like the Slingshot will work when an instrument's trending, it pulls back and it goes again, or the trend fails. Okay, if it's going sideways, the roller coaster will take over because it's doing this side, it's going up and down within a very narrow range. When it actually breaks out of that support and resistance, the Zone Trader Pro will take over and take that trade. Okay, and the range breakout is specific to specific times of day and market opens, oil pit opens, gold pit opens, that sort of thing. But what it does, it gives you a lower risk, but more trading opportunities on the same instrument. And I mean the same instrument. You don't need to trade anymore. I trade 2. I trade copper and oil. That's all I did. So that results that you saw on that slide deck, those results you saw on that slide deck is just copper and oil and micro oil on a small account. Okay. So let's just move away from there. And delete that. So now this is what I do. And I've started afresh because I'm going to be sharing this in Teams, okay? I'm going to be sharing this in Teams because this is how I collect data, and I want to talk around some of these things. So, for example, on the bottom here, we've got HG. So this is one full mini contract. And again, you can't really do that until you've got about a $10,000 account. And I say small account. The smallest account that you can really have is about $5,000, and that's micros. Okay. I say that you can have, I have oil and copper. For every 10,000, they can trade one e-mini contract. They can trade between 5 and 7. For me, 5. Micro contracts. Now that account size has gone up to 16. I've increased the micro account to 7, but I haven't increased the main account until it gets over 20 to 2 contracts on e-minis. Okay, it's about being sensible and having that reality that everything is movable. Okay, everything is expandable. You just need more money in your account to cover the margin. And it's just a rule of thumb for me. 1 contract, $10,000. $20,000, 2 contracts. $30,000, 3 contracts. That's about it. And so this is how I collect the data. I take the performance report for copper, for example. The time frame, it's a Unirenco 135. The last trade was the 1st of August, okay? And it's currently live. It's trading live. It's not in sim, okay? So that's what I use. So if I go to HG range breakout, for example, that's in sim right now, because once you optimize something, and again, all of these are very new. Slingshot is not. I'm in the groove with that. But during this week and next week, I'm starting to optimize the strategies as they're in sim at the moment. And I will compare all of those at the end of every week and make those re-optimizations and share those templates in there. You want to trade another instrument, fine. You do that. We've got lots of training boot camps to help you understand how to optimize and all that sort of thing. But if you want to follow me, if you want to trade CL and copper and MCL, fine. I share those templates because I'm trading. Okay. So I will not share the account. I don't share the templates that I trade on larger accounts because that's unrealistic for 99.9% of people. But I want to go back to this particular chart here, and I'm going to bring in HG here. Okay, so this is HG Unirenco 135 on the Slingshot. Okay, so this is it here. Okay, this had a good trade this week. This is why I'm bringing this up. So just going to go back in time. That's correct. Just, yeah, you just scale up. Let me just. Oh, there she blows. Okay, so we had a fantastic trade. Yeah. So what I want to do is just show you what I will do at the end of every week. I will take this. I will look at those figures. Okay. And I will look at things like total net profit. Maximum drawdown is still $516, which is the same as there. Total number of trades, all that sort of thing. Average winning trades. Talk about the max consec winners, max consec losers, that sort of thing. And if anything has changed out of sync, the data's changed, I will adjust. Okay. And re-optimize and send out the new template. I have found with this, for example, we go to trades. Sometimes it goes very flat, and then other times it can really go. So, 2 little trades there on the 6th, one on the 1st, and then so on and so forth. You can see sometimes there's some really flat periods. Not had to optimize this much at all. If we go to the 12-minute, let me just move that off the screen a second. So this is a 12-minute time frame. This was flat for quite some time, actually, and we had a little trade the other day. It just took out the trailing stop. But again, this is what I will look at here, and I will continue to test. That's a 90% win rate. And the idea is to check that data every single week let the week run, and then when we go from sim to live, I continue to do the same thing. So we've got HG, Zone Trader Pro, Range Breakout, Roller Coaster, and then the same with CL and the same with MCL. So let's reduce that. Oh, no, I need to go back up a second. Also, the thing that will be shared is when it trades, what times of the day it trades, and in some cases, Range Breakout, see, doesn't trade on a Friday for MCL. Range Breakout doesn't trade on Monday for HG, and then each particular one you can see here where it's in green. That's where it's open to trade. This is where it switches off automatically, and this is where it switches on auto. You can see at certain times of the day we cluster, and then others where there's nothing trading at all. That's okay, and that's something I share with our users as well, because it's very important that they understand. Now, this is very intuitive, so you actually don't need to be around once it's fully optimized, because even if you've got overlapping, because of our bias depth heat map, if you like, and there's the Guardian zones that are built in. Just had an order filled on Roller Coaster MCL. Okay, because we're all green on the bias depth heat map. The bias on those higher time frames is green. So if you get a short signal on another signal, it's not going to take it because the bias is the same on there as well. So it's never going to fight against you. But what it can do, and it has done in testing, is that it can add contracts to there if they're running at that same time of the day as well. Okay. So right now, with this is in, so Roller Coaster is in what we call the sim mode. So I've done the optimization, but I need to test it for a week, maybe two, depending on the results, okay? And then slightly adjust. And it's the same for Zone Trader Pro. You will notice though, for example, on the breakout, on oil, this is in live. So this strategy performance, again, this one doesn't trade as often. So in a 90-day period, it may only trade 7 times, but it's a great win rate and it makes good money. But it's a different type of strategy and works very, very well. We have the London opening range breakouts, that sort of thing. This is copper, sorry, not oil. This is the copper trade today, actually, at the London Open. You can see how it just tipped us out. But that's the safety mechanism that we put in place when we do the optimization. So that could have quite easily turned around and come back down that other way. But that pullback was tradable on a different type of strategy, like the slingshot or whatever. So it's all comparative. When one doesn't trade, the other one is more likely to take. So oil is this one here. Okay, you can see oil there. So this one, this probably trades more than copper, I think. Yeah, this has had 17 trades, 94% win rate. Average trade is around $165. Average winning trade 191. Average losing trade is more, 274. But we've got a 94% win rate. We've got a max drawdown of $274. So it's very, very small. And that's the big important thing here, is keeping that max drawdown small. Again, when we look at, I want to actually go to Zone Trader Pro at the moment, because this is something that I go into depth with at the moment. So what I want to do is I want to go to this particular range yesterday. This is why it's in sim at the moment. So we can see here they keep getting tipped in and taken out of break even or slight loss, or there was a winner there as well. But one of the things that we've added to Zone Trader Pro is the minimum size. If it's too small, it can bit a bob around that particular zone, and that's no good, okay? The thing we want to do is measure this And I'm not going to change these settings now, by the way, because I need it to run for the whole week. But we can look at this now, and we can see that range is 16 ticks. But if I go into the back end here for the new edition, we can see for the reversals, we can see minimum risk is 10. Okay. If we change that to 20, for example, that trade would not be taken because it's below the minimum risk. And we can see for the continuation trade, again, we can see the minimum risk is 15. So again, if we change that by certain percentage, so if we try, by 10% or 20% each time when we're optimizing, and this is why I run it in sim. So once I've optimized, I then need to see that behavior, and I need to see that these failures or these break evens came on quite a small sort of range, and I need to understand what that minimum range is truly like. There's other settings in here as well. So we'll look at some of the newer settings for Zone Trader Pro. And again, for those guys with Zone Trader Pro, we're going to do a separate live session. So we've added the bias depth heat map. And whether you put 6 out of 6, 3 out of 6, there are options there. Maximum bars after signal is very important as well. We don't want it to hang around. We want it to print a signal and take the signal. And we've added this to others as well, because we want to make sure that we print the signal within 2 candles, we're gone, we're through, and it's going. Yeah. We don't want it to hang around for 10 candles because then momentum's lost. So that's been added, max bars after signal. The heat map has been added. The minimum risk has been added also. So those are some of the big updates for Zone Trader Pro that will make a massive difference, especially this type of setup here. And again, with every single ASB that we've got now, we have the ability to have the signal, the confirmation, ensure we've got fresh air, and then we take the trade. If all of those criteria are not taken, it will not take the trade. It's as simple as that, okay? And that's very, very important that we have quality trades, not quantity. Right, so let me just go back to Slingshot a minute. So just want to scroll back. What was it? I think it was a 135. 135. That was a little trade. Okay, so this is just a basic standard trade that we can see here. So when we went through the TradingView version, we could see we had type 3s, and that's this one here. So it's a trend failure. Okay. Even though we were live at this point, it didn't take the long. Why? Because the bias depth heat map was not all green. In fact, there was only one green in it. It had lots of fresh air to the next resistance zone up here, but it didn't get the confirmation, so it didn't take. But then when the trend failed, all 6 time frames were red, lots of fresh air to the next support, which is down here somewhere. I'm going to show previous zones. Okay. It had just broken through that 15-minute zone, and there was loads of fresh air. Took the trade, trading stop, took it out. Okay. What you would call a textbook trade. Let's go to the trade before that. In fact, I'm going to bring MCL on in a minute because those have taken some great trades this week as well. Let's bring MCL on. Okay, so again, this time this is on the 5-minute. Great looking trade, to be honest. We got some good fresh air. We got this type 1 sell at this point. It takes in the trade. All 6 time frames are red on signal. Target 2. Let me just put the previous zones on. Target 2, we get 4 contracts taken, and then the fifth is taken out at the Guardian Zone. So the Guardian Zones is that support zone. So that's one of the settings that we have in there, that we say, actually, when it hits support, let's just take the profit. Let's not hang around. Let's not wait for it to go through. Okay. Let me just go back to another trade. There's another one. We've had some great trades on MCL yesterday and Monday. So again, this is a type 1 buy. We've got enough fresh air to the next Guardian Zone, which is up here. We've got all 6 time frames green. It takes the trade. It takes 4 contracts out of target 2. This is so boring, it's unbelievable, but it works. Rules. Gets the next Guardian Zone, takes the profit. Okay, look what it did at the next resistance zone. It's going sideways, didn't go anywhere. So this is one of the choices that you make when you actually optimize this strategy. Okay, to say, actually, you know what, on this time frame, there's very little, unless it's a type 3, that it will actually, you know, break through. So let's have a look at another trade. Again, this is a break even. This is scrappy. But what happens is we take the type 1 sell. It takes 4 contracts off at target 2. Okay. It comes up through there, finds that resistance of that previous support, comes back down, starts to print the trailing stop and takes us out at that point there. Okay. It does this all automatically. Let's go one more and then we'll look at another type of trade. So here we go again. So this time there's no support zone to take the profit. We get target 2, 4, and the other one follows the trailing stop until it gets taken. Okay, it's very boring, but that's what works. Now, let's go to Zone Trader Pro. In fact, let's go to roller coaster. This is a roller coaster trade today. Yeah. In this situation, we have these support and resistance zones. So they're the native. So what we call native is the actual time frame of the chart. This is Unirenko 135. Okay, and remember, this is still in sim right now because there are some they're not issues. Okay, but I need to understand where that max risk is, where we get those good trades and where we get the losers. Are we going too much on the risk? You know what? You know, when I'm looking at this at the moment, when I go to strategies, when I'm looking at the bias depth heat map, I've got this set on 6. Got to be 6 out of 6. Okay, there's going to be less trades, but it's very important. But am I missing something? So again, this 2-week period of actually putting things on sim when you've optimized is very, very important. So we got to this thing here. So in the last 90 days, $2,153 profit factor 2.36, not bad. Win rate's always going to be lower on roller coaster because it has more trades. The thing to look at is your largest winning trade 655, largest losing trade 154. Massive difference. And that's one of the things I'm looking at. But I don't like this max drawdown right now, 472. It's too high for one contract of CL. So part of that data spreadsheet that I share with all our users is that I will put those figures on for this week, and then I will re-optimize to one of the main criteria is to reduce that max drawdown. If I reduce that, it's a given that max profit will increase anyway. Now, remember, this is all intuitive. It doesn't trade that often, but when it does, there's some good trades. Okay. But it has to have fresh air. Let's have a look at the 2 trades before that. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. It has to have fresh air. It has to have all 6 time frames green. This one was a little bit of a winner. Okay. A little bit. Again, this one was a little bit, but what it does is looks at where the stop is, where the entry is, and measures that space, that fresh air to the next resistance zone. If it's within the parameters and all 6 time frames are green, it is going to take the trade. So when we look at those parameters, the default is 161%, okay? And this is default at the moment. But we may find when we're optimizing, actually, we get some really good trades if it's only at 130, 140. I don't like to go down there, but that's where it is. Or we might say some of those losing trades wouldn't have been losing trades if we actually had that max risk, fresh air at 200. And that is about the optimization. But it's easier for me to collect that particular sort of data set at the end of every week and make those decisions. And then hopefully through learning, through getting those changes and those new templates, you will learn how I optimize, and then you can go on and trade your own instruments if you wish. But I think I've just proven by trading one contract of E-mini, CL and HG, 5 or 7 of the MCL, I've made 33% increase on my account balance on that small account in 6 weeks. So you don't need to go for the big NQs. You don't need to go for ESs. I mean, indexes at the moment are tough to trade. You look at commodities and they're pretty predictable with behavior. They react to the correlations to the US dollar, to those economic data events, a lot more predictable than NASDAQ. Okay. And can anybody tell me what I think about NASDAQ in the box in the chat? So that's roller coaster. So it's about that roller coaster motion, really, to try and find the ideal opportunities. So here we can see again and when I need to learn, I need to understand what's going on. So this was a good winner. What was the behavior? It pushed through here, came back on the roller coaster, hit this resistance, and then we got the roller coaster down and we got the short. This was a loser. Why was it a loser? Those are the questions I ask myself. And then when we put that re-optimized strategy together, but not forgetting, you've got to accept some losers in the time that you're trading. And again, when I showed you that trade account, so it's about understanding you're going to get drawdowns. You're going to get drawdowns maybe in a day or in a week. But overall, when it's optimized, it works very well. And then the Zone Trader Pro is the one. So what I want to do actually is I'm going to bring down copper for that. This is in gray, so it's not trading at the moment. You see where it's black? That's the opportunities where it trades. So I'm just going to go back in time. Loser. Okay. This is why it's in sim right now, because it's been optimized by, I need to understand why that was a loser. What could have been done to mitigate that loss? I will look at that confluence zone, that high. I will look at that initial move before it rejected those lows and the time of the day. I'll measure that. And then when I do the re-optimization, I will say, okay, this one moved 20 ticks. Actually, I would prefer if I adjusted that break even at 15. That would have mitigated that loss. Okay. And that's the important thing there when it comes to re-optimization. Just go along. And we can see here, this is a monster trade, and they do happen. Why was it a monster trade? What happened? What was that? The questions are, the data I'll be looking at is, and that behavior is that confluence zone. What time of day was it? So this time of day was the same as that winner and loser. If I was to take that time of the day out, these big moves would not be, it wouldn't be able to catch them, if you like. So it is about trying to get the best fit to do that. I need to shoot previous zones. But again, we've got the bias depth heat map now. It will only trade when we get the confirmation. Here's another one, and this is a perfect example of trading between the zones. So we're meandering on down. This is London Open at 3 a.m. Okay, we hit this big confluence of support. So this is a 15, 30 and a 60-minute support zone. It bounces off, the Zone Trader Pro takes it and takes the profit at the next zone. That's what we call a perfect trade, okay? And that was whilst a lot of people was asleep. So let me go through the Fantastic Four. So we have, and on the PDF, and I'll put the link in there again, further down on the PDF are the links for the individual ASBs. They are leased either 6 month or yearly. But combining all four together, I just wanted to show you that small account that we've made 33% growth in 6 weeks, okay, by properly optimized strategies. Now, once we start to then add on the Fantastic Four, we're going to start to increase that rate of growth of our account size. Yeah. But I won't be rushed into, to doing optimizations on different instruments. I'm going to stick to the instruments that I trade, and I'm going to share those. And then if I have to do a full optimization, then we be patient and we wait and we check the optimization in sim. Once it's gone, we'll go live. Okay. And that's what this point is here when I talk about here. So when I talk about these, we can see at the moment, we've got Slingshot live. Okay. So if you've got over a 10K account, you would have this one live. You would have this one live. Range Breakout is in sim at the moment. Zone Trader Pro is in sim. Roller Coaster is in sim. Slingshot Oil live, and then so on and so forth. We can see that actually the Range Breakout is live on oil, but it's about having the opportunity to trade that instrument in different behaviors, different strategies, different market conditions. And that's the whole point of the Fantastic Four, is to make sure. But you can get those individually as well. You can just go and get the Slingshot, and if 33%, I'm not going to say that's going to happen from tomorrow onwards, but that's what's happened in 6 weeks. It's not a one-hit wonder. Those are the strategies that I've shared with everybody in there now, and those are the ones that I'm running. There's no secret. I've optimized the strategies. I'm running it on a live account, and that's that live account right here, $16,035. It started at 12,000. I'll show you that at the beginning. This is what the sims have done today. Okay, so yes, I'm still running in sim, and some people will say, "Oh, you're green for the data sim. Let's switch it straight away." No, I need to collect the data at the end of the week. I will need to re-optimize, and then I'll need to recollect the data the next week. Then the ones I'm happy with will go live. So today, no trades on the live. Yeah, the Slingshot and the Range Breakout is not traded today, but the Roller Coaster and Zone Trader Pro, between them, the HG, the CL, the MCL, they've made $246 profit. Okay, but that's one day. I don't know, what's going to happen tomorrow. I need to collect that data so I can optimize properly. But everything so far is going very, very well. Okay, Graham, brilliant. Okay, so I want to know if there are any questions on these ASBs. Okay. Thank you, Trevor. Yes, I'm going to read this out actually, because I think it's important that I only get excited by the technology, not the trading. Okay. I've been trading. So back in 1996, I had a Packard Bell 386SX dial-up internet, and I started trading. Okay. Now we have dedicated VPSs. Intel Core i9, blah, 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 blah. Yes, nerd alert. So it's about trading should be boring. It's not about the the quantity of trades. It's about the quality. If I went for quantity, that account size would not have grown from $12,000 to $16,000, 33%. I can guarantee it. I've been doing this far too long. It's about getting those quality of trades in, making sure you've got the signal, you've got confirmation, you've got fresh air, you're at the right time of day. And when you start to optimize these strategies, the right time of day actually makes sense. Why am I getting all the losses between 9 and 10? Because the bloody market's open, there's so much volatility. Don't trade then. Most people wait for the open and start to trade. No, trade before, trade when it calms down. The moves are more gentle, but they're more predictable. So currently, which ASBs are you currently trading live and on which instruments? So, Rob, I will only trade oil, copper, and micro oil. Yeah. So they're all trading. So on live at the moment, all the slingshots are live. A range breakout is live on oil and probably will go live on MCL next week. The roller coaster and the Zone Trader Pro are on sim this week and next week. But again, my priority at the moment is to ensure that we get the Fantastic Four working together. And 33% in 6 weeks sounds phenomenal. If that was a $120,000 account, it would be $160,000 now. Okay, so it's all scalable depending on the money. But I want to make sure that we continue to increase that growth of account size as I get the Fantastic Fours working together. So I'm at range breakout and slingshot right now. I've got the other two working. I'm very close on most of them, to be honest, but it's about there. So it might be that slingshot goes back into sim in 8 weeks' time while I re-optimize. Rob, I only optimize for small account. So that's one contract, but you can, in theory, again, we will teach you how to do that. You can increase the amount of contracts. So, and I'm going to give you an example. So if you wanted to go on Apex 250 account, you'd be trading seven contracts. So you would take something like this, pretend it's CL, okay? And you would go to here. This one trades 7 contracts. So one of the main differences is on a type 1 and a type 2 sell, when we have one contract, we take the profit off at target 2. So you can see here, though, we have 7 contracts going in. There's the entry quantity 7 here. But you can see here, I only take 5 off at target 2. If I have 0 on the other 2 automatically get managed by that trailing stop. So if you have multiple contracts, you can actually get those runners better. But if you've only got one contract on E-mini or whatever it is, you have to go to where the probabilities are. And the probabilities are target 2. The target 2 club gets hit 85% of the time. Okay. And then type 2 trades, you can see again, what I've done here is 4 of those contracts get taken off at target 2, 1 at target 3, and then the other 2 continue to go. But that's my optimization. And then you'll see type 3, again, quantity 7, 3 go off at 20, 2 go off at 40, and the other 2 run with the trailing stop. Does that make sense, Rob? So everything I do is scalable. But be aware, there are some very strange rules with Apex and all funded traders. So you need to be mindful of those rules, drawdown rules and all these silly rules about percentages of wins. So if you've got a $5,000 a win and all of a sudden you get $400 wins, and then you get a $1,000 win, and then you get a $10,000 win, they're not going to like it. But I don't want to swear, but that is real life trading. Okay, I'm going to pull that slide deck back up right now and show you why that's real life trading. Because if you are following strict rules, and automated strategy builders do follow strict rules because it's an algorithm, there's no emotion there. You will have, if I can find it, you will have periods where you have steep growth and then it goes flat and then you draw down and then it goes up again, then it goes flat and then it goes up again. You can't have momentum in profit like some of the funded traders do. Okay, that's another, I mean, that's an area that's, it's not even a skill because it's not real trading. Okay, you will get growth, you'll get flat periods, you'll get drawdowns, you'll get flat periods, you'll get growth, you'll get flat periods, you'll get drawdowns. That is trading. The thing is to reduce this as much as you can by optimizing out those sort of things. Okay, so be aware you can use it on that, but the win sizes will not be all the same. You know, this last 2 days, this growth period has happened once in the last month. The others have been smaller win periods. Yeah, that was a 2-day period where bang, 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 100% win rate, everything won. We had great days. It could go flat for the rest of the week, might open Monday, we might get a little bit of a drawdown. Yes, it is very hard to point out. And maybe somebody gets hold of our ASB and actually optimizes for funded traders and not normal trading. So you have a max profit limit every day. So if you want a 250K account and you want to put a max profit limit of $1,000, so no matter what happens after that, it'll just shut down the ASB. Okay, you can set that. So when we look at this, for example, here. On strategies, we have the P&L protection module. So what happens is, I've not got it on that one. What have I got it on? Okay, let me find it. I've got to find one that's got it on. Okay. Okay, so this is, again, this is why we're in sim on roller coaster. So it's hit the max of 2 consecutive losses per day, so it won't trade for the rest of the day. But there's also max trading drawdowns. So when we go to strategies here in the P&L protection, we have things like max profit for the day. So we can actually set that max profit at a certain amount. So on that particular strategy on that time frame. So if it hits a certain amount of money, it takes the profit, doesn't trade for the rest of the day. You can have your max loss for the day. I prefer to run the max number of losses, especially on a roller coaster type strategy. Then we can say, actually, this is MCL. When it reaches $150, we have a max trading drawdown of $50. So when it reaches $150, there is a max trading drawdown of 100, and it will never go down. If the profit goes up the day, the drawdown will always stay $50 behind that profit. If it comes back down, it hits it and takes the loss. I'm trying to, if I can find, got to find an example of that. So I think that'll be on HG. So bear with me. Very important. P&L protection, I think, could be used very well for funded trader accounts. I'm just going to find an example. So I'm just going to whiz by on these until I get an example of that working. There was a day when there was a lot of trades, and those were adjusted quite a lot. So You'll have to bear with me until I find that period. You can't find one at the moment. Sod's law, isn't it? I'm just going to give you oh, there's a max profit hit. Okay, so there is a good example. You see where the blue is? That's where we actually hit max profits for the day. Let's find that instance, and that will give us a tell on what's going off. Okay, so this is really good. I'm just going to increase that size for a minute here. So we can see lots of winners here. We can see all of these profit traces at this point. We can see then the max trailing drawdown. If I go really big here. So you probably can't see it. There's a dark blue line. I'm just going to move my cursor now. Dark blue line. That's where your max profit is. This is where your max trailing drawdown is. You can see that lift up here and go really big. Really, really big. So when this trade closes, the max drawdown gets adjusted to that point there, okay? And if we get another win or a loss, if we get a loss, this doesn't move, it comes down and takes the profit. At some stage then, we get a little winner, it hits the max profit, no more trades for the rest of the day. And this can be used I only use this on roller coaster purely because it has more trades in a day. When you get a strong day like this, there are a lot of trades. Okay, this is that roller coaster motion that we're looking for, and only the longs will get taken because the bias depth heat map is green. But we can see winner, 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 winner. And eventually you've got to say enough is enough. And that's when you set those parameters. So hopefully, Rob, that helps with that. So there's P&L protection in there for max drawdowns, max number of losses per day, max drawdown, all that sort of thing. And that is part of, and we've got a very extensive training boot camp on every single one of these ASBs on how to optimize. And you can use that as part of your optimization process to help with getting that perfect sort of situation. And it doesn't take long to learn. Got to run it in sim for a while, get used to that optimization process, and then you just keep an eye on that data. And that's what that is. When we talked about the data, it's very important that you keep an eye on this data every week. You look at things like max drawdown, okay? I'll just highlight that there for a second. So max drawdown is very important. You don't want to increase that. If you can keep that there or below there, that's really good. That's a good starting point. And remember, that's one contract on copper there. In 90 days, $4,000 profit, 45 trades. Okay, things like average trades per day, 0.81. Okay, profit per month, $1,500. Max time to recover, 14 days. So if you've had a drawdown, the maximum time to recover that drawdown is 14 days. So in 4 weeks' time, I collect this data every week. If that time to recover takes 18 days, that data has been broken and I need to re-optimize. Look at longest flat periods, 8 days on average. For longs, it's 27. For shorts, it's 12 days. And then we've got max. This is really important, this bit here. We don't want any more. If we have 4 max consec losers, we stop, re-optimize, we go again. Okay. And it's very important. So trading now, and I can guarantee in the next 5 years, will not be you sitting in front of a chart. It will be you optimizing automated strategies, collecting that data at the end of the week, comparing it, and then re-optimizing it. But I can guarantee in 5 years' time, I will have an AI that does that for me, because I'm the first one to produce these sort of these sophisticated automated strategy builders. My next mission next year is what I do, this data that I am going to start to collect and collect it publicly, and the actual changes I make during the optimization, all that data will be gathered. It will be put into machine learning after 12 months, and we will be able to run an AI bot that collects the data, compares the data, and re-optimizes on the behavior that I've shown for the last 12 months. And it will suggest those changes for you. In fact, that could be automated as well. This is sophisticated trading. This is real trading. This is what I used to do manually, and it takes forever to collect the data. It takes forever to trade, and you can't trade on those fast time frames if you're trading manually. It just does not work. If we go back to MCL, to the Slingshot, and we go to the last trade, we're going to talk about the time it took to the trade. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So the signal came in at 11:59 and 1 second. It was taken in at 11:59 and 2 seconds. You can't react that fast. Okay. It's impossible for you to do that, but you're missing out on a trade that was very profitable. Okay. And this is the power of automation, in that you don't have to be in something long term, and you can be in a swing trade if you wanted to, but the fastest we've done it is 0.23 milliseconds. Okay. We have a test bed that runs these things. And this just goes to show you, from signal to entry, 1 second. And these were real trades. I just showed you my live account, the live account that I made public, so people can understand the realities of trading. Can you review what type of training or support you provide on optimization? So I optimize CL, HG, MCL on all 4. Okay. I collect that data. I share that spreadsheet that I showed you with the users. Okay. Then what I do is I re-optimize if I have to, and I share the template for that optimization with the users, so they re-upload it. So the thing to do is it literally, and this is how you learn. So for example, on oil, we can see the strategy performance report here, $2,200, whatever it is. So if I go into the strategies, I've loaded up a template. So down in the bottom here, click template and load. Yeah, that template has certain parameters here. Things that change, and they don't change very often, are things like the Guardian zones, risk to reward, that sort of thing. So before you load the new template up, take a screenshot of those, and people share them all the time in the teams. Load the new one up, see where the differences were. It's just a little bit of work, and that's all you have to do. What I can't do on a Sunday night is go live and do all my optimizations. I'm not going to do that because it will take me hours. What I need to do is collect the data on a Friday, come back in on Sunday, and it takes me half an hour to an hour. But if I'm actually talking over that, it'll take me 3 hours and my wife will divorce me. Absolutely, George, and this is why it's, you know, my book is all about confluence, not coincidence. And the idea with confluences is that we see that different market behaviors that sometimes converge, and you get those confluences, and that's when, and I've seen that, and I think I put it in Teams or even in Discord, that on one day I had a range breakout. The range breakout went hell for leather, and I think that was on oil. Okay, but it pulled back during that phase. Then the Slingshot managed to pull back and added a contract to trade, and then we had a bit of a roller coaster motion. A roller coaster added it. So when we get that confluence, those contracts will be added. The way each market condition has been, and the strategy for those market conditions has been designed, is that so when there's confluences, we get big days, we get you know, things that run very, very well. And I'm going to try and find that instance now, because I think that's really good. I must go soon though, because my wife's going to really. So here it is. Here it is. Okay. It's hard, Kyle, because so NinjaTrader is the most powerful platform. It's downloaded onto computer. As long as you've got a powerful computer or a powerful VPS, it will work. It took 6 months to develop the indicator for TradingView for Slingshot, because you can only have so many objects on the chart, because it's a cloud-based system. Okay, it's a cloud-based server that runs a different type of language, and complex logic is extremely difficult to code for that. And you can only have so many lines of code. It's really weird. So yes, I found a really clever person. Will it be able to be auto-traded in the future? No idea. At this moment in time, we've pushed TradingView right to limit just to get the indicator, the Slingshot indicator on there. You know, what happens from there in the next few years, I don't know. You know, I was told 18 months ago Slingshot would never be, the indicator would never be on TradingView. It's now on TradingView. Okay, technology and people's experience continues to grow exponentially, so I can't say either way. So the good thing about TradingView is you can get those alerts as well, so you know, you can be around and trade those for now. So this is the instance here. This was 17th of the 7th. So what we had was, we had the range breakout on oil, and it was going. Then we had a pullback. It didn't take this trade out, but what happened on a different time frame on Slingshot, and again, it took me ages to do that, and my dinner was ready 20 minutes ago. It pulled back at this point here, and then Slingshot and roller coaster took us in, and we added more contracts. This is what we call a runner. You know, it doesn't happen every week, but when it does, the idea of having those fantastic forwards, we can really capitalize on those trading opportunities, on those pullbacks during that move, and be able to trade those automatically. And that was a $2,000 day plus on a small account. Okay. But that's what happens. That was back then. Okay, I'll be down in 2 minutes. Guys, I'm going to have to go. My family's here on vacation, and my wife has completed dinner, and it's time for me to go, because I promised I'd be finished by 7 p.m. and it's now 7:25. Okay, so this has been recorded. Please, I'm going to put the spreadsheet link in there again. The links in there are for the TradingView beta testers, And also there's another PDF with the Slingshot links to go and look at each one, and also the Concierge Service, which I haven't even mentioned today. But again, read that on there. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And thank you for the great turnout and for people staying around as well. This is very exciting times for me, for the team, and for traders, for retail traders, around the world. This is technology. We don't need emotion. We don't need to sit in front of the computer. We just need to have that technology available. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Take care, and I'll speak to you all really soon.